Mission Possible, the latest SpaceX Astrophysics missions. SPHEREx, Spectro-Photometer for the past of the universe, Epoch of Reionization, and ICE's Explorer, is designed to study hundreds of millions to billions of stars and galaxies in the universe. The primary goal of SPHEREx is to understand better and quantify the state of the universe, particularly the Big Bang. The Space Telescope can help to detect the presence of water or ice in the Milky Way. Scientists claim that it would be beneficial to determine the role that ice plays in developing planets and other celestial objects. Welcome to Brainbender's Solarium. Join us as we travel through space and explore the latest SpaceX missions in astrophysics. NASA awarded SpaceX a contract to launch the SPHEREx spacecraft on Falcon 9 in mid-2024, a deal worth $98.8 million. This cost involves the launch itself and other associated costs of the flight. On February 5, 2021, SpaceX tweeted that Falcon 9 will launch NASA's SPHEREx mission after obtaining the NASA contract. This mission will gather data on more than 300 million galaxies and examine how the universe began. It will do this from our Vandenberg AFB launch site as early as June 2024. SPHEREx entered Phase C of its development protocol in January. This mission was initially expected to launch in 2023. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which operates SPHEREx, announced in January 2021 that the mission is now rescheduled for launch between June 2024 and April 2025. The delay was triggered partially by the consequences of the pandemic of COVID-19. If we look at the specifications, we'll see that SPHEREx is a small spacecraft weighing less than 200 kilograms. The SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket effectively exceeds this small weight payload and can carry at least 5 to 10 metric tons to the SPHEREx target orbit. NASA can use the excess space of SpaceX Falcon 9 to launch small-sat secondary payloads as a rideshare mission. The Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, to be launched in 2025, will include the NASA Global Lyman Alpha images of the flexible exospheric, the Lunar Trailblazer, and the Solar Cruiser smallsat missions, and the Space Weather follow-on L1 spacecraft. This $98.8 million launching contract is also a relatively costly Falcon 9 launching contract. Winning contracts of this value from NASA and other companies are now almost routine for SpaceX. SpaceX has been rewarded several NASA contracts over the last 2 years, with SPHEREx being the latest in the list. SpaceX received an $80.4 million contract to launch NASA's $900 million PACE, i.e. Plankton Aerosol Cloud Ocean Ecosystem Earth Science Satellite, Oceanography Observatory on the Falcon 9 rocket in the same year as SPHEREx. On February 3rd, General John Raymond, head of operations of the U.S. Space Force, stated to Wall Street and the billionaire investors in the space industry that he is optimistic about all of it, both what they are doing for national defense and what's going on in the commercial sector. The Wall Street and billionaire investors in the space industry have intensified the interest in space among all Americans. The U.S. Space Force, the Pentagon's newest branch, was continually searching for partners within private sector firms to do joint venture projects and obtain investment in the space industry. The Pentagon is carefully monitoring the growth of popular rocket builders such as Virgin Orbit, SpaceX, Rocket Lab, and Astra. General John Raymond credited SpaceX implicitly for performing NASA's Crew 1 mission, SpaceX's Crew Dragon spacecraft's first operational launch. He said, "If you look at what's going on in the civil sector with the launch of US astronauts and this last launch of a US-based Japanese astronaut on a commercial launch vehicle, there's a lot of fun and excitement there." Raymond also expressed his support for SpaceX as SpaceX revealed last week that it would launch Inspiration 4, the first all-civilian crew to go into orbit later this year. Inspiration 4, the revolutionary flight, will be driven by a billionaire named Jared Isaacman. Passenger identities other than Jared Isaacman have not yet been revealed. 2 of the seats are to be determined in public online competitions to be held in February. This mission is intended to raise funds for the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for higher-class space tourism. Raymond did not provide any comments regarding SpaceX's Starship SN9 rocket test flight conducted on Tuesday, which exploded in a landing attempt. Reports say that, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, private investment in space companies set a new annual record in 2020. On the 2nd of February 2021, the Defense Department announced the $50.8 million contract with Viasat, a satellite communication and wireless networking technology provider. Viasat received this contract from the Air Force Research Laboratory to build up a vast collection of prototype space systems. The agreement between Viasat and Air Force Research Laboratory will span over 7 years. These projects will study the space systems, design them, manufacture them, integrate the components, launch new space systems, fly and demonstrate satellites, and build up ground terminals and other technologies. Mark Dankberg, CEO of Viasat, said in 2020 that the company observes the Air Force Research Laboratory's Link 16 satellite contract as an outstanding possibility for expansion in the satellite communications and space markets. Mark said the notion of extending the range of Link 16 through space is really pretty fascinating. The benefit is that there are many tens of thousands and potentially hundreds of thousands of Link 16 capable devices. And we have other applications that we've been working with government clients that do involve that involve either sensing or communication satellites in space. And so, I think you're going to see us do more of that, Dankberg had earlier said. If Viasat gets the chance to build a fleet of satellites to do tactical networking, then they will be interested in doing it. And now, they got it. US military and NATO allies use Link 16, an encoded radio frequency, to transmit information across the battlefield secretly. The satellites of Viasat will serve as a network relay for the Link 16 communication system. Space Vehicles Directorate of Air Force Research Laboratory, based at Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico, is now cooperating with Viasat on other space plans. Viasat was mainly centered on geostationary satellite communications, but now they are expanding and progressing into other areas such as network operations, cybersecurity, and low Earth orbit satellites. So astrophysics space exploration does not end here. There are sure to be many more adventures and new missions in the future. Thanks for joining us. We hope you found this video interesting. If so, take a look at some of our other videos you see on the screen now. Also, ring that bell to keep up with new content that we publish weekly. We'll see you next time, here on Solarium.